We're joined by Joan Bailey, the Executive Director of Friends for the Unborn Home in Quincy, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here today.
So tell me a little bit about Friends of the Unborn. I know you have kind of a dual role, both a homeless shelter for women and also a crisis pregnancy center.
Correct. Friends of the Unborn was started in 1984 by Marilyn Burney. She had seen the plight of a homeless pregnant girl. I think it was on television. She saw a program and it just broke her heart that this young woman had to make a choice between having her baby or an abortion. She called the Archdiocesan and said, "What can I do? How can I help?" And they offered her and told her that there was an opportunity for sheltering homes for homeless pregnant women. So Marilyn had 2 teenage girls at the house at the time. She went home and prayerfully considered it and talked it over with her teenage daughters. And they said, "Sure, Mom, if you think this is the right thing, we would love to open our home to a homeless pregnant girl." So Marilyn, within a few weeks, Marilyn had an 18-year-old homeless pregnant girl at her house. And that's how the beginning of Friends of the Unborn started. She always laughs when she tells the story. This young girl comes in with mixed match socks, purple hair, a few extra tattoos,
like 84.
and she was a little overwhelmed, but she just knew she truly had the love of the Lord in her. She really, it's a faith-based ministry, and she had the love and knew it would work out. Her daughters were great. They opened their hearts, their homes, and their friendship to this young lady. And within 6 months, she had 5 more women placed with her. So at that point, she was like, her house, she had a small home down in Hull, very modest. So she began the ministry. She counseled with a lot of spiritual advisors, people in the neighborhood, and that's when the actual true conception of Friends of the Unborn as a Christian ministry to help service and shelter homeless pregnant women.
And so those babies are now 34, correct?
Yes.
Or around that? Wait, 1984?
Yes. Yep.
32. 32. My math is terrible.
32. I know. So the oldest one is 32 years old. And there's so many wonderful success stories. We've had so many of the babies that have been born at Friends of the Unborn have gone on to the medical field. We have so many nurses. We have so many in the military. There are school teachers. Currently, I have beautiful women who are just either currently living or just moved out recently. One is enrolled in a medical assistant program so she can get her prerequisite classes because she wants to start nursing school in January, and another young woman who's had, her daughter was born prematurely and has had a lot of problems with respiratory problems. She's actually finished up her GED finally, and she's enrolled for classes to become a respiratory therapist.
And so all of these babies could have, you know, God forbid, been aborted if it had not been for the services that you offer.
Absolutely.
So how many residents do you have now?
We currently have 12 women living at Friends of the Unborn.
Okay.
10 babies.
Wow.
So one of our
Sounds
women,
like Danielle's house. No, she has 8.
No, it's so funny. This 10, we don't usually have 10 infants at the same time.
Wow. Yeah,
But,
thinking about that. Wow, 10 infants.
The most, I've only been there for about 5 years, and the most, there were 11 infants, and it was around Christmas time, and we kept joking, saying it's not going to be a silent night around here this year.
Right.
So it really is a beautiful, it's a crisis pregnancy shelter. So I just got off the phone before just talking with a young client who was having some issues, and she was afraid she couldn't hear the heartbeat. But we only have a nurse that comes in once a week. So we counsel women who are questioning whether to choose life, choose adoption, or choose abortion, and we give them the power for life. We give them that ability to choose life by giving them the support,
right?
the
I mean, once they have that information and they say, "Oh, that's my baby," you know, that baby is going to have a name.
Yes. So we have that portion of it, and the sheltering home. It's truly a home, which so many of our residents were lacking. We live together, our women live together as a faith-based community. We have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have Bible study, nutrition education, parenting, infant care. We even have a beautiful woman who comes in and helps the women with childbirth, and we actually have lovely Mother Olga, beautiful nun in her convent, and she is usually there at every birth with our beautiful women, so they're not alone. So we do have an opportunity to live and teach them to live as a home. And it's great because the parenting classes and the whole idea of living in community has been so wonderful and strong for the women. Every morning, it's like a little boot camp. They're up at the crack of dawn, making sure that their chores are done, the house is nice and neat, their beds are made, rooms are spotless, and they're in charge of sweeping the front porch and watering the plants, and watering and taking care of the tomato plants and the different plants that we have. So they learn to live in the community.
Now, let me ask you something, because this is a big critique of the pro-life movement, is that you don't help those children after the fact. Clearly, you're showing that that's not true. How critical is that? Now, if this woman, down the road has another crisis pregnancy, now she has those tools to understand what's at stake.
We always say, that everyone says, oh, pro-choice, pro-choice. How can they make a choice if they don't have the support for either choice? We give them the support so they can choose life, which is truly the natural choice. As soon as you are pregnant, that maternal bond starts. Yep. And we give them the support. We've even had women that have come back to us in 2 or 3 years, and they have another pregnancy. They've been married, but the budget is tough. We can help them with diapers and wipes. We also we always offer the education of abstinence.
Right.
We give them the support that it's okay to respect your own body, and it's good to say no once in a while.
And teach them the dignity of life, not of just the baby, but of the mother herself as well.
And sometimes they don't feel their life is of value, and we truly value every life.
Every life.
Every life. And it's great. We're always saying that you never know. This could be the future president.
We hope so. We're going to be following these babies from Friends of the Unborn.
I know. That's what we love. It's like there could be a future doctor who could cure cancer. Yes. Any one of them could affect so many thousands of lives.
Right. But thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about the website quickly.
Oh, Friends of the Unborn. It's a great website. It's beautiful. We've recently had it updated. So you just have to go to friendsoftheunborn.org. And all the information is there.
And it's all donations. That's very important to say. All
donations. All
No
donations.
state,
we don't take
no federal funding.
Absolutely. Okay. We only private donations. So.
And really quick, we have the same dress. Can you take us on a wide shot and see that we have the same? We did not plan this, but like minds think alike. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.